Trump breaking news. More Republicans supporting Kamala gives me hope. Sadly, I had already accepted Trump's certain re-election a few weeks before. What a different view today. Trump is becoming increasingly irrational as the candidates tie. He whines about his poor me and uses immature names instead of addressing concerns as his supervisors have asked. Is this technique to win votes? He often makes mistakes in his presentations and seems puzzled when off script. How much worse will he get in 4 years? The news that Republican voters against Trump had raised over $11 million for swing state political commercials encouraged me. Additional Republican officeholders are supporting Kamala Harris each week. I've urged moderate Republicans and independents to dump Trump for 7 years. The fact that more moderates are finally seeing the light is really encouraging. Return the orange buffoon to Florida with the other old-timers. Political scientist Paul G. Buchanan and journalist Selwyn Manning will explore the politics of desperation, building on recent A View from Afar episodes. This episode follows our extensive transitions and friction conversations. As the old status quo crumbles under fraction, political leaders and elites involved in it become more frantic, resulting to more perilous decisions, acute moments, and increased risks of mistake, miscalculation, and unanticipated backlash. Politics of desperation exacerbates a downward spiral. The politics of desperation varies. Leaders may view losing as a blow to their ego, reputation, and recognition that voters have moved on from their policies. For others, a loss can be heartbreaking, such as Donald Trump's sentence as a felon and possible jail time if he loses his presidential bid. If his right-wing coalition collapses, Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu may face domestic and international criminal court indictments for his role in Israel's disproportionate use of military force in Gaza. Today, Paul and Selwyn will analyze global examples of the politics of desperation and assess the implications as the globe faces an uncertain future. Live interaction. Paul and Selwyn welcome live audience questions and comments. Visit youtube.com/c/evening report to participate in this podcast's live recording. Subscribe to the channel. For on-demand audiences, click on one of the social media networks below to continue this debate. London-based cybersecurity news journal Threat Technology named the MIL Network's podcast A View from Afar a top defense security podcast. Threat Technology ranked A View from Afar 9th in its 20 best defense security podcasts of 2021. Donald Trump's criminal cases had a busy week in court, despite a spell without major prosecutors' action before the November election. Filings, hearings, angry debates, and delays ensued. We'll explain what happened and what's next in this week's newsletter. Questions about Trump's trials? Contact perry.stein@washpost.com and devlin.barrett@washpost.com for replies in future newsletters. Like your reading? Receive the Trump trials every Sunday via email. Let's begin. The future. Return to menu. This newsletter turns 1 this week, so light a candle on the cake. The pre-trial Palooza episodes started on September 10, 2023, while we were still experimenting with the format and judges had set trial dates in 3 of Trump's 4 criminal indictments. Only 1 trial occurred. The rest are postponed indefinitely, and 1 indictment was dropped. No doubt, most cases are still in pre-trial Palooza. Our birthday wish is for more judges to establish filing deadlines at 5 p.m. instead of midnight, as many do. Midnight deadlines are problematic for several reasons, but most crucially, they slow public access to important legal developments. U.S. District Court Judge Tanya S. Chutkan gave us such a gift this week, and we appreciate all our readers for subscribing, reading, and asking great questions throughout the previous year. Trump will respond legally to special counsel Jack Smith's appeal to revive the Florida classified documents indictment later this month. Smith will also present his written argument for rewriting the D.C. lawsuit against Trump for allegedly seeking to thwart Biden's 2020 victory. The court dockets are quiet until such submissions are due. However, the past year has shown us that news can break at any time, therefore we will report it. A recap of last week's events. D.C. 2020 election federal case. Return to menu. Detail: 4 federal counts of conspiracy to undermine 2020 election results. Trump's lawyers and the special counsel team met in Chutkan's D.C. courtroom last week for the first time in a year. We waited for the Supreme Court immunity rule this summer, so the matter was on hold. The judge and the parties discussed the court calendar for the following months at Thursday's session. Chutkan rejected Trump lawyer John Laurow's idea that she postpone pre-trial work while the country elects a president at the hearing. Weekly Nerd Word. Return to menu. Giglio, a 1972 Supreme Court ruling requires prosecutors to give up evidence that casts doubt on witnesses. Giglio material sometimes refers to law enforcement personnel credibility issues in criminal prosecutions. Chutkan ordered federal election obstruction prosecutors to give Trump's lawyers all Giglio evidence by Tuesday last week. Ask me. Return to menu. Q. If Trump wins in 2024, he may order his Justice Department to drop federal charges against him in Florida and D.C. Doesn't that require judicial approval? Could Chutkan reject Trump's Justice Department's motion?